Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Fight Rundown episode. It's a Eubank Benn episode today.
It is indeed.
Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn, of course, last night. Absolute spectacle, to be fair. Stadium fight, justified. Absolutely loved watching it. Really glad that I managed to catch it as well, because I was a little bit busy on Saturday. Managed to catch the main event, and the story's absolutely incredible. Loved that Chris Eubank was there, but we'll get into that as well. But first of all, Jeeve is back from Vegas.
I am indeed. What a trip! What a trip! I think definitely we'll talk about in another episode.
Yeah,
got Q&A coming up as well. But yeah, everything was about the Eubank and Benn. I mean, crazy card, crazy spectacle. Coming back, it's like you catch me in the act or some shit. Catch me gooning. It was just one of the biggest fights. When I got back, I landed back on Thursday, and all I heard about, I don't know about you, but every media was on about this fight. It was crazy. Yeah,
I was really excited for it, and look, the card was pretty stacked for a boxing card. I didn't look at some of the fights. My boy Chef Clark's on there. I'm gassed about that.
Yeah.
Our boy Anthony Yard as well. I look at the card, and there's some good fights on there, and just from fight week, I was really excited, and everybody was talking about it. It was it was deemed as a massive fight, huge fight, probably the biggest fight we will get in this country this year.
Yeah,
I'd probably say.
Agreed.
And it was that, and it did deliver.
I reckon we just start with the main event.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people who could be listening to this, if you are listening for the first time, make sure we're the Fight Rundown. We do weekly episodes, interviewing fighters, talking about boxing, talking about MMA, talking to MMA fighters. Weekly episodes, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts from. And then also Instagram, TikTok are our main sources at The Fight Rundown.
Yeah. So,
shall we start with the main event?
Let's do it.
Let's start with the fact that Chris Eubank Sr. joins his son on the big stage. One a WWE type moment. I think a lot of people comparing it to an absolute spectacle, seeing that back door open and then the big fur coat. The whole Eubank Sr. aura comes out. What was your thoughts on that?
Absolutely buzzing. And I tell you what, I've heard some killjoys going, oh yeah, that was absolutely staged and it was meant to happen, and they did it for publicity and whatever. But even if they did, I don't give a shit. I absolutely loved watching that.
Well, Eubank said that, didn't he? Senior he said, you still have to, you can't give away the whole show. He said, did Eubank Jr. know? No. Until the day.
Epic. It's so epic,
I thought it was so sick.
I had tears in my eyes just a little bit.
I did actually, really warmed the heart.
I love that. Because I'm a massive Chris Eubank Jr. fan. I have been for years. And to see that, and of course, Eubank Sr. and Benn are two of my favourites. Obviously, we never got to watch them in the primes, but watch back and look back at those fighters, they are some of my favourites, and it was just so nice to see. And you saw as well on fight week, I think it was, Nigel Benn pleaded to Chris Eubank Sr. saying, "Please come to the fight. We need you here. It's a family
and it is because of
affair."
them. It is because of them too. This fight would have never sold the stadium if their dads didn't fight. It would have just been a third fight up on the card, maybe maybe not even Riyadh season.
No, well, they're never. They're not even the same weights, are they? So
exactly,
it would never have even happened.
Yeah. It was insane. The fight hype was crazy. We'll get onto the undercard later on, but let's go straight to the fight. Eubank Jr. walked out to his dad's theme.
Incredible.
Simply the best. It was so cool seeing that. I thought that was a nice little moment there.
Yeah.
Conor Benn looked so locked in, the head shaved, the beard shaved. It's just a sign of kind of war. Obviously, this guy knows he stays in war right here. But I love it seeing when, like McGregor always did it, go bold for the fight. You know what I mean? It's a different type of look. Eubank had a mean mug all the way down to the ring, and it did feel huge. And then we start the fight, and I think the first 2-3 rounds, Benn looking for that big shot. Eubank looking like he's going to box, which was probably the way we all saw it coming. And then I think the 5th, 6th, that's where it just really stepped up. This is when I think Eubank got caught with one on the 4th, maybe.
Yeah.
And it stunned him tiny bit. And then that was kind of the fight from there. It turned into an absolute war. Insane going back and forth bowls. Did you expect to see a war in the first, let's go for the first 6 rounds? Did you see the way the fight kind of changed from a boxing match to a fight?
Yeah, 100%. My first thoughts going in there before the fight was going to be that it would be, if Conor Benn was to finish the fight, it would be early. I think you expect him to start early and start fast.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why he would have requested that 18-foot ring, for example. You know, the ring was quite small in there.
It did look it as well.
Yeah, so he could really put the pressure on early, and maybe he was relying on, you know, with Eubank trying to make weight, you know, relying on maybe if we can get that fast start and then drain him for the later rounds and then maybe even get the stoppage late. I don't really know. Yeah. You know, with that small ring as well, it really was a Conor Benn advantage. But then, you know, Chris Eubank Jr. has shown, you know, what a fighter really is, and he comes back and it is an absolute war. And the last round was absolutely incredible, amazing to watch.
We'll get into that,
But yeah, really interesting fight. Like you say, I think Conor did quite well in the early rounds.
Yeah,
and
it was close. I couldn't believe it. I had it razor split throughout the whole fight, but then come round 6, over round 7, I thought it was 3-3.
Yeah,
and I thought, we're in for something here. And that round kind of starts off Eubank getting the better of it, but in that last minute they just traded huge strikes, and then coming into the 8th. It was very much Benn just loading for some big left hooks, big heavy shots. Benn's leg did buckle from a left hook as they entered the final minute as well, which was insane. Round 9, again, it was more of the same thing. We'll talk about the 12th round separately.
Yeah, and just another thing here, we do go live on TikTok as well as we are filming these. BBFTB says everything was in place for Conor's advantage, which is true. I do believe that. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, and then anything else than that? I mean, it's a good point. I think maybe not. I don't think it's not everything, but there was a lot in favour for Benn. He definitely was the A-side fight, but that's what happens when you have Eddie Hearn as your promoter and not Ben Shalom.
Yeah. Well, good friend of ours, DA Boxing, Big
Legend.
Dom, made a great point to us the other day. Is like, since when have they measured a fighter's weight to 2 decimal places? You know, he's 0.05 over.
Yeah, I've never thought of that.
And then on the rehydration when it's fight night and they're weighing in, you know, Chris Eubank's 169.4, but Conor Benn's bang on 165. Absolutely on the nose, bang on.
Yeah, like, not a good point. Yeah,
like, how does that work? It's just all
strange.
A fix. But yeah, I just had to get that in there because that wound me up a little bit when I saw it. I was a little bit angry about that.
It's a good point. I never thought of it like that. I don't know why. It didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah.
But that's so true. Round 11, a lot of people had it 5-5 at this point. It just turned. This is where the last 2 rounds it was the saying who wants it more.
Yeah, 100%.
Both was hurt throughout the fight. I thought Eubank was looking a bit leggy until he chins him at the end. And I think for that last minute, everyone was on the edge of the seats thinking, mate, this could be over here.
I thought he was going to get the knockout, to be fair. I mean, just completely fighting on instinct in there and obviously absolutely knackered. Benn's punched himself out from the last 12, absolutely finished. Did well to stay up on his feet, to be honest, I think. When you're that exhausted in the fight and someone's coming at you, constantly throwing them punches, you know, he's done really well to stay on his feet, so fair play to him. But
Yeah, for sure. They punched themselves out, which was just insane to watch.
Yeah.
But a bit of a hot take right there.
Eubank did nothing apart from the last round. Thoughts? Ooh, that's a Gary Neville. Ooh, by the way.
Yeah, that's a bit of a sus one. That I don't know. I think it's quite a bit of a hot take. I think Eubank definitely did enough. I do think Eubank. Did I think he won?
I think he
won.
I think he won. I gave it to Eubank.
I had it split. So I couldn't really lean.
The viewer's verdict ended up in a draw as well.
Did it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, I had it split personally, but I don't know. I wasn't really scoring it like that. I was more just enjoying it. But yeah, if I had to roughly predict, I'm pretty sure I had it split. Especially I started scoring from the 6th round, which I had split, and then it stayed like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chris Eubank Jr. gets the win. people saying the scorecards are a bit far out. Either way, it was an insane fight. I don't think we should talk about the scorecards realistically.
Yeah. Draw till last round. I can see him winning by 1 round or 2. Yeah, 100%. Clear draw. Yeah, it was really close. It was really close.
Yeah. It was close as hell. Keep your thoughts coming in, by the way. That's good.
Yeah, 100%. Keep them coming.
What's that one as well? I'm not going to favour Conor.
Yeah, but clear draw, there was nothing clinical.
Yeah, like I said, I think either scorecard was all right. And especially having all judges having the same scorecard makes it a bit better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, Chris Eubank Jr. drops to his knees. Conor Benn in heartbreak, hugs his dad. Senior, so proud. I think as soon as Senior came out, I thought, because I had Eubank since it got announced, I've always had Eubank, even at the first one. And then seeing the way Eubank had to make his way at edge to Benn. But then I saw Senior come out with Junior. I was like, there's no way this guy's losing.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
The craziest aura max I've ever seen right there.
Yeah.
Ben shouldn't have won. Should have won.
Shouldn't won.
Not sure.
Yeah, he shouldn't have won.
No. And I thought that was it. But the fight's done. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, like I say, when you see Senior come out, that's probably all Junior needed to have the fire in his belly to get the win. And both these guys saying, this fight was bigger than a world title. I think that if it wasn't before for Eubank, it definitely was at that point.
Yeah.
Absolutely massive. Probably the biggest moment of his life right there. His dad comes in.
Yeah, he's never going to get bigger than that.
Yeah, never, ever. So, absolutely incredible moment.
Yeah, it was insane. One thing he did say is talk about pain. And then Conor Benn said later, he said, the pain of watching your brother die or not having a brother, the pain of, which is really sad, the pain of your dad not loving you.
Conor Benn at the start when he was like, have a day off, Chris, and then he started going into it and he's like,
yeah, that's it. And then he obviously spoke about the fact that his dad thinks he's an idiot. And I thought, fuck, mate, there's nothing worse than forget about your boxing.
Yeah.
Imagine your dad. Not having the respect to your dad.
Yeah, exactly. Say, I'll never be in your car.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy. Eubank's still in hospital now, Arjun. Yeah, I'd seen that he was in hospital for a precautionary measure.
I hope everything's all right. I know he broke his jaw.
Yeah.
So, geez, if he's still in hospital now, though.
It's a little bit sus, isn't it?
Yeah, we might as well get a little check on that. Eubank.
Any other thoughts rolling in whilst we're waiting for that?
8 minutes ago, Sky Sports here.
Remain in
hospital after. It's a bit scary, that.
Yeah.
Eubank was taken to the precautionary initial test, have come back clear, but he's likely to stay there till Monday.
Okay.
And his dad's been there bedside along with his other family members.
Oh, that's nice.
Pretty sick, yeah.
Yeah, sick.
It gave me a bit of a... Yeah, you're thinking the worst there. Boxers after a legendary fight like that.
Yeah. And I saw as well, before the fight at the weigh-ins, just thinking of him being in hospital, he met up with Nick Blackwell, ex-British champion, who he gave brain damage to once. And, they met up before the fight and had a little chat, and it's absolutely crazy. And, that's someone I'd love to have on the pod. Nick Blackwell, what an incredible story to come back from a brain injury and come back fully functional. But, that's Conor Benn. Chris Eubank Jr.
Insane.
And I guess last thing I'd want to ask you is, would you want to see it again? Or
exactly what I was going to ask you. I think it warrants it. Do you do it straight away? In this day and age, I like the fact that we're doing rematches straight away.
Yeah,
I don't think you can build any more hype behind it. Question is, would it sell another stadium?
Yeah, I think it would.
You reckon?
Yeah, Bundle Park.
I reckon it could actually. Yeah, good point. I reckon it could. If not, I love the O2 Arena vibes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't take it to Saudi. It's a British classic here.
Yeah.
It's a British classic. Let's keep it here. But yeah, I know Ben said he wants the WBC, he wants Barrios, if not. By the way, how did Ben get cleared in England again? Did that just happen and... I forgot.
Maybe he dashed a little bit of
Turkey,
cash someone's way.
In. Yeah. I thought, I just really, because he said, what a homecoming, I thought, hang on a minute.
I know Conor takes the rematch all day Interesting. We'll have to see it. We'll know.
I think they'll both take with the amount they made. You know what I mean? Money talks. Eubank made 9 million, Benn made 7. I mean, you're talking insane money right there. But yeah, Ben Shalom gets the last laugh because also a couple of his fighters did win.
Yeah,
we'll touch on the other fighters now.
Yeah, good night for Shalom. I'm quite happy for him actually.
Yeah, you know what? Eddie Hearn's hitting a 2025 Dana White here.
Yeah,
thinks he can phone it in.
I know. Yeah, he's getting on my nerves a little bit at the minute, Eddie Hearn.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit bored of him. You know.
Yeah.
I think he's. You know what? Me and my dad were talking about this. I think he's going to sell up.
Really?
I think he's going to sell up to TKO, to Dana White, WWE.
Do you reckon?
And join the mega stable. He's been talking about it. I think he's looking for a.
That'd be insane. What would Barry Hearn think about that though?
Mate, think about how much he's going to make. Matchroom Promotions. It's just going to join. It's just going to. He'll have shares.
I reckon he might make a couple bill from that. Do you know?
Mate, I don't know if it's worth £1 billion. That company. How much is Matchroom worth? Don't forget the snooker, the darts.
Yeah.
How much?
Kaya laughs in the face of that comment.
Is that that guy?
No, that guy.
Anywhere near as fast. Give that guy a map. Say Matchroom Sport net worth. This is old. How much is Matchroom valued at? $1 billion. You're right. Maybe, yeah. So he would get
around
probably about a 300 million payout with like 30% worth of shares or something. I don't know. I don't know business like that. But let's touch on some other fighters right now.
Yeah, no worries.
Our boy Anthony Yard gets the win.
Wins the second most pointless trilogy of all time.
behind
Fury Chisora.
Okay, that's a good one. No one paid. We love Yard. I would have paid to go and watch Yard.
Co-main at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
That's insane. They're both Londoners as well, aren't they?
Yeah. No, he's from London.
Oh, is he?
He's Bugsy Malone's boy, wasn't he?
Oh,
he's on the music videos and that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah. I know Yard's sports Arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had the Arsenal tracks. Yeah. Liam Smith gets filled in by Aaron McKenna.
Surprise.
We're not bothered.
No, I'm not asked about it.
No, it's shame. Shame, if anything.
Yeah. Shame he didn't get the stoppage.
Yeah, we was watching it with some actual friends of Liam Smith's. Mum and Dad were anyway.
Yeah.
And they were getting all worried and giving the back. It's all right. It's old news. I'm not dragging the meme still.
Yeah, exactly. It's a meme draggers over here.
I guarantee the meme that we're on about, like, no one listens from the people who listen now. Shavon Clark, Vidal Riley.
Gutted.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, why? Come on, Shavon Clark's pro run.
Absolutely gutted for him. I did say
his
in my
pro
prediction,
run's being washed.
No, I did say
so washed.
I did say in my predictions on the TikTok, I said my heart is with Chef Clark, my brain is with Vidal Riley. I thought he would always just going to outbox Chef Clark.
Yeah.
He deserves to be British champion. You look at Vidal's pedigree, fought on the world stage as an amateur, comes in, and he's not put a foot.
He's so smart, isn't he? Like he did the KSI thing, made a massive name for himself.
Yeah,
and then not only that, but then obviously, I know he had a really bad injury, but he's kind of done it perfect. He built his name before even boxing.
Yeah,
he did it really well. Chef Clark. It's a shame, especially because it was one of the 3 people you told me about when we first met. I always go on about that.
It's only because he said hi to me on a live once. And ever since I've ridden
him, Keyshawn Davies. There was one more.
Andy Cruz.
They were the trilogy of 2020. Friendship started right there.
Chef Clark got humbled. Can't come to our stadium walking out to that.
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, Arjun, you're a Spurs fan. I know that. So that was quite sick. To be fair, though.
Aura for Chef Clark.
Yeah, spit in the face of Spurs, isn't it?
How much aura does Chef Clark leave the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium?
Minus 1.9 mil. Yeah, don't forget these guys deal in the millions, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
very true. But yeah, happy for Vidal Riley. He comes home with gained aura. So he'll be happy with that.
Yeah, for sure.
I expect some huge fights for Vidal Riley soon. I don't really know. It's hard to say where his level is at the moment, though. It's hard to say, hard to match up. Is he ready for a world title? I mean, I would probably want to see him in another big fight. Like a Billum Smith or something like that. Yeah. But it's a tough one to match up.
Is he going to drop the belt? Is he going to move up? Is he going to go European?
It's really hard. It's a hard one to match up.
Yeah.
But Chris Billum Smith also against Brandon Glanton. Brandon Glanton, who lost to the meme David Light before.
Did he now?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he did. And, Billum Smith gets the win.
Yeah, nicely Chris Billum Smith back with a win.
It is. And Glanton tried to make some beef up as well, didn't he, during the weigh-ins and the press conferences and that. But Billum Smith, as the gentleman he is, did not care for it.
Yeah.
And he comes in and, like I say, he's a little bit of a... I'll quote Dom, who I think is watching at the moment as well. He said he thinks that Chris is quite a big overachiever in boxing.
He is. That's a great point.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%. But yeah, that was the fight. I mean, I think that's everything.
Good morning, Dom.
There he is. What a night.
Yeah,
it's nice to see boxing in England on a bit of a big show again.
Yeah.
Definitely brought a bit of hype back. I think the sport needed this.
Boxing overtaking the UFC
this
just
year.
For now.
Yeah, I mean, we're at a low barrier right now.
Yeah.
Ian Gary did get a big win against Carlos Martez.
Did see that.
Big win.
Yeah. Pretty sick.
That was pretty sick. Yeah. But yeah, let us know what you guys thought. It was a real good card, like we said. Enjoyed it.
Make sure to follow TikTok.
Yeah.
At the Fight Rundown. We are very close to 3,000 followers on there, so please do make sure to leave a follow. It would help us out. It would make me a very happy guy. If we get 3,000 followers in the next month, me and Jeeve will spar each other.
Okay. Cool. He's signed up there. So you've got till the end of the month, 3-4 days.
Easy gonna make it.
Get it. Right. Thank you for joining us. I've been Jeeve.
I've been Bowles.
And we'll see you soon.
See you soon.